The Final Four in the NHL Stanley Cup Playoffs are set, and the theme of these both series, in my opinion, is revenge. We have the rematch of last year's Western Conference Finals, and we have a rematch of 2 years ago Eastern Conference Finals, where the 8-seeded Panthers swept the Carolina Hurricanes. But the question is, who will make the Stanley Cup playoffs? We're going to answer that. So stay tuned to the end of the video for our predictions. But right now, we're going to start off with a preview, and we'll start off with the ECF, with the Panthers and the Hurricanes facing off.
This is a tough one to predict, or even to somewhat analyze. The Panthers are now in their third straight conference final, looking to be the third straight Stanley Cup, or getting into the third straight Stanley Cup final. Fatigue is the thing that's concerned I've seen throughout this playoffs for them. Matthew Tkachuk is not 100%. Bobrovsky, you could tell he has a lot of minutes logged during these
Still
playoffs.
playing well. He's still playing good enough, but like you could tell us.
There are games where he wasn't the same, and there were games that he stepped up in, right?
Yeah. So like obviously those numbers are dropping. Here is the good news, in my opinion, when I'm looking at it for the Carolina Hurricanes. Entering the series, this is my initial reaction when I saw this matchup. When you look at it 2 years ago, that was probably the best Bobrovsky they've faced. Like, I remember in that series, Bobrovsky was absolutely insane. Yeah. And that was the reason why the Carolina Panthers couldn't score. Like, all the games went to literally, all four games were close. I believe 3 of them went to overtime. And Bobrovsky absolutely shut the door on the Carolina Hurricanes a couple of years ago. The good news is that Bobrovsky is looking tired. He is not. I don't think he will play at that same elite level, and that's not because of his ability. That's just because he has so many, minutes logged the last 3 years. He's gonna take a step back. But on the other side, Freddie Anderson is probably playing his best hockey, and in that series, he wasn't terrible in that series where they got 4-0 by the Panthers. But obviously, Bobrovsky was better. So going into it, like at the end of the day, I'm still gonna pick up Bobrovsky over Freddie Anderson. But there's an argument saying that Freddie Anderson and the Carolina Hurricanes might have the goalie advantage entering the conference.
I mean, listen, I might give the edge to Anderson the way he's been rolling.
He's been rolling.
They 4-1 the
Capitals,
and they 4-1 the Devils. So he has more rest as well in these playoffs specifically.
And he needs it, bro.
Exactly. Yeah, he hurt a little bit as well. Here's the thing with the Canes. This is going to be they're going to provide a lot of pressure on Bobrovsky. I'm not saying offensively wise. They're going to be able to especially injured Tkachuk, and who knows what they're going to be looking at offensively. Spencer Carberry said it best. Jacob Slavin should be in the Norris every year, essentially, right? We saw him in the Four Nations and how his league was defensive.
So good.
But him and Chris Tanev really need to get that defenseman award considerations every year. They need to bring that award because of those two guys on the top of my head specifically.
Imagine if they're a pairing, man. Imagine. Like, that'll be the best shutdown pairing ever.
Reason why Parash is going to be Bobrovsky. The Canes have the ability to shut down or slow down a team. And they can do that with this Panthers team as well. Because we've seen the Panthers kind of struggle a little bit against these Leafs, right? They handled their business against the Lightning, to be fair to them. But the Leafs, they kind of somewhat struggled.
But here's the thing. There were still multiple games where the Panthers just blew open the game. Game 7, they blew open. Game 5, they blew open, right? Game 3 was a testy match. Obviously, it went to overtime. And Game 4, they still got their job done. So offensively, they haven't been as, bad. Honestly, in my opinion, they had to lean more on their offensive game to get to this point, because more so in the last couple of years, it always was them being so solid defensively, and obviously Bobrovsky doing his thing. And at the end of the day, they're still doing the thing defensively, and Bobrovsky's still kind of doing his thing as well. I'm not taking that away. But when I'm looking at it, Barkov got his goals early on in the series. Reinhart chipped in. Obviously, their depth and their third and fourth line has chipped in a lot as well. Like in that Game 7, Ristolainen scored, Gadjovich scored, right? So like right now, they're getting offense from all 4 lines, and that's why the Panthers have been so successful the past 2 years, and it's kind of working for them now as well.
Yeah, no, like the other thing is though, I'm gonna throw a meme out there. Freddie Anderson probably needs to watch Sam Bennett. Because
that's true, yeah.
Didn't get hurt. To be fair, listen, people count on the Leafs all day, and I'm not gonna make this about a Leafs thing, but it could have been a different series if Stolarz was still healthy and net for them as well, right?
Yeah, it could.
In this case, like I said, with the Canes, again, you said they were gonna make the finals last year. Obviously, they did not. This year, they have listen, the amount of trades they make. The best storyline might be the Canes getting to the final, playing Dallas because of the whole Rantanen factor, and obviously Stankoven being traded as well for each other. But this Canes team is on a mission again this year. Defensively, I don't think anyone has been better than them defensively in these playoffs.
No one,
right?
Yeah.
Plus the goaltending on top of that, they just hopefully they need to get consistent offensive scoring going. And if they can get that, these guys have a very good chance of finally making the Stanley Cup Final this year.
Here's the thing: if they were able to shut down one of the best offensive teams in hockey, which was the Washington Capitals.
Yeah.
Right. And the way that Freddie Anderson played that third period of the game 5, they wouldn't be sitting here right now and waiting for game 1 of actually there would be still, but like there would be a game 7. In my opinion, if Freddie Anderson didn't do that,
I think the Capitals then.
I think the Capitals would have won Game 6. I think they would have forced 7.
Yeah.
But the way the Capitals played that period, because I felt like they would have carried that momentum in Game 6. But Freddie Anderson shut the door. Like he was, hats off to him, man. He was absolutely incredible in that period, and the main reason they're here.
The other thing is Capitals are not as experienced as the Panthers are, but the Panthers are also way more fatigued. So we'll hold off on the predictions there for now. As you guys could tell, this is a brand new channel, Beyond the Rink. All hockey content will be posted here from now on. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, because we'll be dropping content for you guys multiple times a week as well throughout the off season as well, shorts and everything. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, like this video for more videos like this as well, and comment your predictions down below. We would love to engage with you guys in the comments and hear you as well. Let's get that subscriber goal to 100 by the end of this playoff run, hopefully, and we'll see how it ends up going.
Oilers, Dallas Stars. Last year, the Oilers beat the Stars in 6 games 4-2.
One thing before I want to continue on, I'm going to start with the Dallas Stars here. And before I even go to the Dallas Stars, condolences to the Scheifele family. What Mark Scheifele had to go through in Game 6, I wish upon nobody. I don't think not many people in the world, especially athletes, were able to do what he has done, and it is a tough thing. So rest in peace to Brad Scheifele, and condolences to the whole Scheifele family and the Jets organization. I really wish, listen, I was rooting for the Stars because they're my prediction from the beginning as it is. I really wished it did not end like that, and I really wished they went Game 7 for that reason. Scheifele got the goal. We could not wrote the script any better in that case.
Played amazing, man. Like the wood playing with that heavy heart and still able to perform at that level was, absolutely impressive, and one of the gutsiest performances you will ever see in sports.
And I hate how it ended that he had to take the penalty to prevent a breakaway for Sam Steele. But listen, post game with the whole Jets, Adam Lowry starting off with the captain, and then the Jets team hugging him at the end of the game, getting to the penalty box, and then obviously the Stars lineup, especially what Jamie Benn and him went through the game before with the fights. Mason Marchman, what he had to go through with his dad as well. Very, very well done. Very, very emotional. Shout out to the Stars owner. If this is true, he lent his private jet per Scheifele to get back home to be with his family as well. So once again, condolences to the Scheifele family, but hard transition. But let's move on to this series now. As you mentioned, rematch from last year, and we'll start off with the Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars, we all know who in my opinion, Rantanen, the addition finally has stepped up. He struggled with Carolina. He struggled with Dallas to start off with, but when it comes to playoff time,
he's cooking.
The guy is a superstar.
He's a bona fide superstar. The question is, can he do it without McKinnon? Can he be the main leader? And right now he has proven that he can be the main leader. And that's what kind of the Dallas Stars lacked last year against the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers were so good defensively last year, and they have been so good defensively in these playoffs after in the Vegas series, not the LA series, I won't give them that credit, but in the Vegas series, they have been so good defensively. So obviously, the Dallas Stars are going to need more game breakers, and obviously adding Rantanen is a big factor. But here's another game breaker that the Dallas Stars didn't have last year, and that is Jake Onger, because he's entering this series as as hot as he can be. So is Stuart Skinner. Both goalies are entering is probably like at the best moment possibly, and way better. They're entering the series way better than they were in last year's playoffs.
I have a stat about Jake Oettinger. Jake Oettinger, this playoffs, is undefeated when allowing only 2 goals or less. So 1 or 2 goals. And that continued with Game 6 because the overtime was only 2-1 as well. So you could tell like he's on his game. He wasn't the same last year. Miro Heiskanen's back as well for them as well. Thomas Harley has now shown that he is a number 1 in the NHL. So they have 2 number 1s in their own team that could carry either their own line, or even if they play together, whatever the case may be as well.
Here's the thing with this goaltending matchup, right? Obviously, last year Stuart Skinner won it, which was honestly a surprise. But like at the end of the day, he did win it, and he did play well. And the cycle of Stuart Skinner is like, play good, then start playing bad, then get benched, and come back and start playing better than you were originally. And right now he's entering this playoffs, the WCF with a shutout streak.
2 shutouts,
right?
Yeah.
2 shutouts in a row, and you'll see it will be and counting, because unless he allows a goal, 1 second into the game, it will be and counting. And over the other side, Jake Onger in Game 4 was absolutely incredible. He was the reason why the Dallas Stars won that game. Mikhail Granlund obviously got the hat trick, but like 2 of his goals were literally off insane Jake Onger denials, which led to the goal automatically. Game 6 against Winnipeg, he had the absolute robbery of Mason Appleton. Full empty net. Obviously, Appleton should have shot it a little bit sooner and harder, but Onger still went across the net, saved it, and obviously eventually led to a Thomas Harley overtime victory, overtime power play winner. And overall, when you're looking at it, Jake Onger should be. I'm still gonna pick Jake Onger. 100%. Like, don't get me wrong, and the reason is, one, he looks confident and he looks ready. Like, I feel like I know him saying that I want to be USA's starting goalie
with Hellbuck on the other net.
With Hellbuck being on net was obviously a boost to Hellbuck because he played incredible in the series.
Yeah.
I give credit to Connor Hellbuck, like he showed up for the Winnipeg Jets. But I also give Jake Onger a boost as well. So I feel like he's playing with confidence, which is obviously huge. And obviously Stuart Skinner on that shadow streak is playing with confidence, which is huge. Edmonton, again, defensively has been solid. Like you said, Dallas got Heiskanen back, but they have been solid throughout as well. But when you're looking at it, it's going to come down to who's be able to score. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be facing McDavid and Draisaitl, right? And at any point in any game, they will load up that line. But the good news for Dallas Stars is they can match that now because Rantanen is here. Robertson's back. I know he wasn't great against Winnipeg, but like I'll give him that because he also missed, that was his first playoff games, entering it. So if we could get anywhere close to the Robertson we've seen, they could load that up too. And obviously you want Rupe Hits to step up a little bit more. But overall, like the Florida Panthers, Dallas is, they've been getting goals from up and down the lineup in the Winnipeg series as well. Yeah,
no, like for me, listen, my concern is the depth a little bit. Robertson needs to get going now. Now I'm not going to give him too much of an excuse.
Yeah.
Right? Now, on flip side, Oilers' depth has been helping them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like obviously, there's a line of Kapanen, Podkolzin, and Draisaitl. I never thought I would ever hear that.
Well, game 2 against Vegas was a Podkolzin and Victor Arvidsson game.
So that's another guy. Arvidsson step up. Evander Kane has been amazing ever since he came back into these playoffs as well. And he's not really playing with McDavid like that either, right? It's more Hyman. And I think it's new sometimes as Kane. We'll see how that ends up going. So the depth right now, in my opinion, is somehow favoring the Oilers than it is the Stars in terms of production so far in these playoffs. The thing I hate about this is, like, I'm looking at, again, we'll probably make an LA Kings video on the side. The fact that the LA Kings, if they didn't challenge that, or if freaking Matty Beniers just cleared the puck, Quentin Byfield mixed up the two guys. Quentin Byfield cleared that puck. We would be talking about a whole different situation. It could have been Vegas, it could have been LA in this spot as well. So the fact that the Oilers were able to change the script, and Chris Knobloch, credit to him, figured out. They said that they figured something out in the LA series that helped them. Clearly, it has. Clearly, whatever it is, it worked, and it has. Obviously, bringing in Troy Stetcher helped. Darnell Nurse now knows how to play hockey again. Bouchard, yes, defensively has many flaws, but somehow could step up in the postseason when he needs to as well. Ekholm is still supposed to be out for 10 more days. So the fact that they're doing this without Mattias Ekholm is the scary part for me. And the Stars need to somehow take advantage of that. Because listen, at the end of the day, when it comes to the Oilers, I still refuse to believe that they could win with Pickard or Skinner. It's somehow they're doing it. I'm giving them credit. I'm not saying that they've done it last year. They're doing it this year. But this is the way Skinner was this year. He has been horrendous. And Pickard was their goalie before he got hurt. And Skinner, outside of the one game against Vegas, he's been fine.
Here's the thing, like, Edmonton's reached this point with, I believe, a save percentage below 900 still.
Yeah.
Right?
He has even up to like 800.
Yeah, exactly, which is the crazy part. Here's the thing, like, we mentioned why Dallas is a scarier team. They look more potent offensively, obviously, with the addition of Mikko Rantanen, and obviously getting Heiskanen back, and obviously Onger playing at Onger level now. Like, that's the reason why Dallas is more dangerous. Here's the reason why Edmonton is more dangerous, is because, like you said it, it's not because, like, here's the difference between this year's playoff run and last year's playoff run is, like, last year it was genuinely McDavid, Draisaitl, Hyman, that line with Ekholm and Bouchard. Those 5 players, right? And it was literally on them. The biggest thing I've noticed right now is, like, I felt like they made it a message that, like, it's not about those 5 players being important, it's about the whole team being important, which is getting the whole team, and which is why I believe the whole team is kind of performing and, like, providing the depth scoring like they have been so far. So they are playing, in my opinion, the reason why they're more dangerous this year than last year is because it feels like they're playing more like a team this year, and it's not a carry job like it was last year.
Yeah, but let's get into our predictions here as well. Again, tough predictions to make here as well. We'll start off with these Stars and these Oilers. I am going with the Dallas Stars. Again, part of it is because that was my postseason prediction as well, also my preseason prediction to get there. I think the addition of Rantanen is going to help them. I'm banking on Robertson to step up. Ottinger is not the same Ottinger as last year. He is showing that he is the best American goalie. At least put himself in the conversation properly now in this postseason. And on top of that, they got Miro Heiskanen back, whereas the Oilers are missing Matthias Ekholm still. I feel like it should catch up to them. And I still refuse to believe Skinner or Pickett will get them to the Stanley Cup Final. I am going with the Dallas Stars, and I'm going to go with them in 6 games.
Here's the thing. I am also picking the Dallas Stars. I'm going to go with 7. I believe one thing I am concerned is every time we hype up Andre, he usually does bad in the next series. And he kind of happened last year in the Western Conference Finals where he played bad and Stuart Skinner took the advantage. But in terms of the reason why I'm picking the Stars is because I feel like they finally have the roster. Like
This is
compared to this
years
year.
in a row they're in the conference finals now.
And yeah, that's also one too. But like with the addition of Rantanen, they can match the Oilers offensively. Like they're gonna have to win. Like obviously, if it's more low scoring, I would favor the Stars. But there's gonna be like 2 or 3 games where they're gonna have to win like 5-4, 6-5, and they have the lineup to do that right now. And as long as Robertson gets going now, they should be able to do that. And then obviously Hintz and Granlund and Rantanen have been doing their thing as well.
This postseason has been like the Finnish postseason.
The Finnish postseason.
He didn't got the winner against Vegas as well. He's finished. So
so like for that reason, I'm going with the Dallas Stars and I'm going with the 7 in 7 just because this is gonna be a tight series in my opinion.
Carolina and Florida, like I said about the Stars, that's 3 years in a row they've been in the conference finals. Carolina has made it to the 3rd conference final. They've won the most playoff games in the last couple of stretch under Rod Brindamore. Yet not to face a Stanley Cup Final is concerning. Maybe this is a year for them. This is a tough series for me to predict. You could either pick the Canes because the defensive side of things, but Florida experience, Florida fatigue. I am sticking with Florida. Again, my postseason prediction was Florida-Dallas. I kind of want to see that, even though the storylines will be hilarious if Rantanen can knock down 2 former teams, I guess you could say, even though one being more limited in Carolina. I am going with Florida. I am going with 7. The fatigue factor, I feel like they'll overcome it, and Bobrovsky will somehow step up, even though they had I want to say a grueling 7-gamer, but then the 7th game was kind of easy at the same time as well. I mean, but Florida in 7 for me.
Here's the thing. It's definitely not going to be a sweep like it was a couple years ago. I'll say that much. Obviously, the Stars, the Canes have been better offensively. The Stankoven has been, a solid replacement for Rantanen. I guess he provided a little bit more offense. I'm going with the Florida Panthers in 6 games. Like at the end of the day, the biggest concern for me for the Panthers is fatigue. And obviously, with the Canes playing like, a more grinded out defensive hockey game, that's going to obviously add to the fatigue and kind of bruise the Panthers even more, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, like offensively, I feel like Reinhart, Kachuk, Barkov, Verhaeghe, all these guys will...
Verhaeghe needs to step up a little bit.
He needs to step up a little bit more, yeah. But I feel like they have enough pieces just to get by, and they're still good enough defensively to, limit the Canes' opportunities. So I'll go in with the Panthers in 6.
As mentioned below, this is a brand new channel. We'll be dropping more content for you guys daily. So a video popping up, how Ovechkin beat Gretzky for the all-time scoring record has popped up for our left side. We'll make sure you guys check that video out, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.